Missoula, Montana. May 2, 1990. Two women would be found murdered, both were residents at a nursing home facility. At the Riverside Healthcare Facility, located on East Broadway, detectives would be called there twice. The first incident, a woman was found dead in her room. That woman was Bertha Scott, 86. Bertha was believed to die from natural causes, but that was not the actual case. The second incident would happen 2 months later. A woman who could not walk was removed from her bedroom and found close by deceased. She was abducted from the nursing home through a window and taken to Clark Fork River. That woman was 87-year-old Nancy Lagerquist. Autopsy would reveal both women were actually assaulted. Nancy died from blood loss from internal blood injuries. Detectives have released more detail in how Nancy was assaulted, but it is too gruesome to share on our channel. Check out the Montana Murder Mysteries podcast to hear those details. In Bertha's case, detectives would exhume her body to uncover bruises around her neck. The medical examiner would determine Bertha's death, a homicide from strangulation. Detectives believe that they may have been looking at a serial killer. They questioned suspects, one man 3 times, that was later cleared. But they would find DNA from a semen sample from Bertha's body. Authorities need tips to solve this case. If you have any tips, please call the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. Florence, Montana. November 6, 2001. Off an interstate at a hair salon, that would become the scene of a triple murder case. It was during the busy day, at the Hair Gallery Beauty Salon, located in Florence, Montana off of Interstate 93. A woman would be arriving for her appointment, when she would see the body of the owner of the salon. She would contact police, where they would find 2 more bodies in the back area. Those 3 women were Dorothy Harris, Brenda Patch and Cynthia Paulus. All 3 women would be deceased from knife slashes to the throat. Brenda Patch was the salon manicurist and she was giving Cynthia a manicure. The assailant would come in and force the women to the back, before attacking them. Dorothy would be arriving to the salon, when the killer would also attack her with a knife.
22 years after a triple stabbing murder rocked the town of Florence, investigators are still hoping for information that could shed new light on the case. NBC Montana's Heidi Miley went to Florence to talk to locals about the community's resilience in the wake of these brutal crimes.
It's one of Montana's most chilling cold cases.
People were scared. They were downright scared.
3 women were brutally murdered at a Florence hair salon.
Just can't imagine how anybody.
The property and even the address numbers have changed. But court documents say it was here along a busy Highway 93 in broad daylight when Brenda Patch was giving Cynthia Paulus a manicure and an attacker came in, forced them into a closet and slashed their throats. Then minutes later, the attacker killed her too. The killer vanished, and the motive remained a mystery.
There's theories about drugs and all kind of things.
The only thing to surface, though, talk of an oddly dressed man.
There was this man in a dark trench coat and strange hat, a fedora or something.
Detectives were able to gather leads and get a description of the suspect in this case. Here is a composite drawing. He was wearing a trench coat and fedora. He was seen walking fast in a neighborhood, close near the salon after the murders. Police did investigate and believe that this case's motive has something to do with a drug debt. In 2008, they believed they had their suspects, but dropped the charges later, as they needed more evidence. News reports state that one of the men hired the other for the hit, and then it was carried out. At this time, the men are set to be released in the next few years for drug charges. Police need new tips from the community to make sure these suspects are charged with this triple homicide, and we can finally get justice for our 3 victims. If you have any tips, please contact Ravalli County Sheriff's Office. February 15, 1977. Billings, Montana. A young woman would be found dead at a landfill. A couple that was out for a walk would find a woman dead from gunshot wounds. Police were called to Jellison Road. There they would find 21-year-old Ruth Ballou. Autopsy revealed Ruth died from multiple gunshot wounds. She had been deceased for 1 to 2 days. Ruth was known to work the streets, and normally worked near the old Empire Bar. Detectives believe one theory is, Ruth may have had an issue with one of her customers. They continue to search for suspects in this case. To submit tips in this case, please contact the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit. Thank you for watching another episode of A Minute for Justice. Your support helps us advocate for cold cases across the nation. Continue by subscribing to our channel and staying in the know. We may head to an area near you soon.